Good evening, folks. As some of you know, my name is Aid from Northwest Crystals. New for 2021, we're going to be bringing you a series of videos. We're going to drop them once a fortnight onto our IGTV content over on Instagram at Northwest Crystals UK. And each session, we're going to be looking at a different crystal every single time. And we're going to talk about how they're formed, where they come from, some interesting facts about them, hopefully, and the various different metaphysical properties. This week is going to be all about fluorites. Okay, so whether you are just a collector of crystals, a collector of minerals, or somebody who believes in the metaphysical and spiritual properties of crystals, fluorite is probably one of the most important families of crystals to be aware of. So a bit of basic background first on fluorite. Fluorite was actually first discovered in the 1500s and derives its name from the French word fluere, which means to flow, which gives an indication of its main purpose in industry, which is as a flux to actually lower the boiling point, or melting point rather, of various metals. Fluorite's formed in several different ways in the earth, including igneous, which means it's formed in sort of volcanic vents and heat; sedimentary, which means it's formed by the weathering of various different crystals that then combine and cement together; and metamorphic, which means that they are changed by heat and pressure. Its chemical composition is actually calcium and fluoride. Another interesting fact about fluorite is actually the word fluorescent or fluoresce gets its name from fluorite. And a lot of fluorites do actually fluoresce under UV light. So as you can see from this piece here, this is a green formation from China. When it's introduced to an ultraviolet light, it will actually fluoresce a totally different color. And this one's gone a bright blue. Another example is this piece here, which is our very own homegrown Weird-L fluorite, a lot of which will fluoresce under UV light. This piece here, as well as fluorescing under UV light, actually changes color as well. So if you were to go outdoors, and as you can see from here on the camera, this actually looks like a denim blue color. But a lot of fluorite will actually change color on contact with sunlight. Most notably, obviously, a lot of the Weird-L fluorites will do that, but this one is no exception. And I said on camera, this one actually looks like a denim blue color, but if you were to walk outdoors into the sunshine, this would actually be a teal color in real life. When people first start buying fluorite, it's very common to get it in various different carved forms or sliced forms, such as towers, spheres. It's often carved into sort of various different animal shapes. You can also get sliced versions like this, which is where they take a whole piece of fluorite and then we'll just slice it to show off the amazing colors that it comes in. It comes in an incalculable amount of different shapes and formations, fluorite. You know, we've got a piece like this green piece. So this comes in a cubic formation, as you can see. It's like in cubes. This piece, interestingly, all of the edges have naturally eroded. Then you can also get tiny, tiny, tiny cubic versions like this one. This actually comes from Mexico and is known as digital Mexican fluorite. Other really good localities for cubic fluorite is Pakistan and Afghanistan. This piece actually came from Pakistan and shows some amazing cube formations as it grows. The piece I showed you earlier on as well, this piece, again from China, and this piece absolutely shows that amazing cube formation. But it doesn't only come in cubes, you can also get various different shapes. Quite a rare shape is what's known as botryoidal or ball-shaped. So this piece here, for instance, this came from India, in Maharashtra State in India, and this is actually ball-shaped or botryoidal shapes of fluorite. And you can also get octahedrons in fluorite as well. Now, commonly in most shops or crystal sellers online, you can buy these. Now, these are actually carved fluorite, so they're not natural. The fluorite itself is natural, however, the shape is not. This is actually been carved like this. However, you can get fluorite in natural octahedrons. And this piece here, I'll try and reach across without breaking anything. This piece here is actually from a very, very rare locality. And I think the mine is closed now, in a place called the Dian mine in China. And these are actual naturally formed fluorite octahedrons. And they are stunningly, stunningly beautiful. And as you can see on the edges of them, they're what's called phantomed or zoned, which means that the impurities or the minerals that give it the color have actually congregated heavier on these edges to give it this kind of outlined look. Now, fluorite doesn't like growing on its own. It's a bit of a party animal, fluorite, and it does like to grow with various other different elements as well. So, for instance, this piece here, this is actually the octahedrons growing with dolomite. This gorgeous sparkly piece here is green fluorite, and as you can see, it's almost frostbitten. And this is actually called frostbite fluorite because it has this amazing druze of chalcedonian quartz that grows over the top of it to make it look almost like it's been frosted. Calcite's one of the most sort of common crystals that it will grow with. Again, this piece from Pakistan, you can see this calcite inclusion on the side. And this beautiful big piece here, oops, knocking stuff over now. This beautiful big purple piece here. On this side, you can see these tiny, tiny, tiny micro crystals of fluorite. And if we were to turn it over, you can see that it's actually calcite that's growing on the back that again is covered in these tiny, tiny, tiny little fluorite crystals. Now, as well as fluorite being, so that bit of a party animal that grows in association with lots of other different minerals and crystals on the side of it or next to it, it'll actually grow various crystals inside as well. There's a really good example. This is snowflake fluorite. Absolutely beautiful crystal. You can quite clearly see why it's called snowflake fluorite. But these lines inside, these are actually another crystal called white aragonite that grows inside the main crystal matrix. Another really good example, if I can find it, wherever it's gone to, here we go, is this piece here. Now, this is a sort of pink-orange fluorite. And as you look inside, and we'll try and find a piece for you to see clearly, and I will try and zoom in with my amazing camera work. Here we go. So let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. There we go. So as you can see inside, there's what looks like white hairs or silver hairs growing inside this pink fluorite. And that's actually another crystal called bisylite growing inside of the fluorite. Okay, so as we said right back at the start of the video, and I really do hope that you're sticking with me here, fluorite comes in just every possible color spectrum that you can think of. And as well as the generic properties of fluorite, which is mainly linked to sort of the blocking of EMS and electromagnetic smog. So if you work a lot with, say, technologies, so if you work a lot with laptops, MacBooks, PCs, iPhones, it's a really, really, really good idea to have some fluorite near you because that's believed to help with that electromagnetic smog. But each individual color in its own right has its own specific attributes. So for instance, blue fluorite, like this one here, blue fluorite relates to the throat chakra and is believed to help with emotions and stimulate clear communication. So for instance, if you are having a bit of a hard time with emotions and you need to speak to somebody, whether it be a touchy subject or something you maybe need advice on, or you don't really know how to go about kind of asking for help, blue fluorite, sit and meditate, do your affirmations with blue fluorite, and that'll be superb. Green fluorite, such as this piece here we showed earlier on. Now, green fluorite relates to the heart chakra, and green fluorite is believed to sort of harmonize and recharge all of the chakras. So having a simple, small piece of green fluorite in your collection is always a really, really good idea. Purple fluorite, this piece we showed earlier on from Mexico, the Mexican purple digital fluorite, or even the much more common purple fluorite from Pakistan, India and Afghanistan. That relates to the third eye chakra, and purple fluorite increases mystic visions and aids in spiritual balance. But what it also does is helps the intuition to connect to the rational mind. So if you're doing, say, dream questing, for instance, or a lot of sort of mystic vision work, and you can't seem to make sense of the visions that you're seeing or the information you're being given, if you were to hold purple fluorite whilst you're doing that, it would help your kind of rational mind connect to your mystic mind, as it were, to help you try and make sense of some of those visions. And one of the rarest forms of fluorite is yellow fluorite. Not the rarest, but one of the rarest forms of fluorite is yellow. Now, this piece is called Moscano fluorite. And Moscano fluorite comes from Moscano in Italy. And as I'm sure you can see, it is beautiful. I'd be interested to know how many people went, oh, look at that, when it came on the screen. So yellow fluorite relates to the solar plexus chakra, and yellow fluorite is believed to enhance creativity and being particularly effective for people in group situations. So if you are an art teacher or you do a lot of art therapy work, yellow fluorite would be really good. And it's believed to stimulate and clear and heal powers of the mind, such as psychic ability and healing. The last interesting fact about yellow fluorite is it's believed to remove toxins from the body and lower cholesterol, although obviously this isn't a be-all and end-all. You do need to seek medical advice if you are having any issues with cholesterol. The last and probably the rarest colour of all crystals, of all fluorite crystals, actually has no colour at all. And this piece is clear fluorite. Totally clear fluorite. And this is a very, 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 very old specimen of clear fluorite that's actually grown with some silver galena here. And clear fluorite, as the name denotes, is believed to help you clear your mind totally. So if you've got lots and lots of sort of brain fog or lots of information going on and you just can't make sense of what's going on, clear fluorite, although it's extremely rare, is the one to go for. Okay, so I do hope that you found some of that interesting. What I'll do is I'll finish the video by showing some either a slideshow or some small videos of each of these pieces from our own collection. And so that's it from me, from Adrian Rose here at Northwest Crystals UK. Please feel free to join us. We do live sales, more information videos. We have a growing community over on Instagram. So please feel free to join us. But until the next time, thanks very much indeed. Take care, stay safe, goodbye.